Morning. I'm just off to meet a man I met on the internet in a lay-by. A couple of red flags there, aren't there? Not bad, mate. So let's bought some ducklings. Now I've got to go and get some food and stuff because we're not prepared at all. I haven't got any food or anything, so I'm gonna go do that now. Don't eat them. Hoping the dog's not gonna eat them while I'm gone. But food's expensive. Duck and goose feed, 5 layers, starter crumbs. Oh, they've run out. They've run out. Classic. That was close. That was like supermarket sweep. 90% sure she weren't going to eat them, but there's still 10% of me that definitely wasn't sure. Right, better find her somewhere to live now. Duck housing. Apple box. Cardboard. Sawdust. Water. Ducks. Oh, we are going to be good friends, that's for sure. I think we've got 4 khaki Campbells and 4 Indian runner ducks. Since I've been talking about getting a few ducks because we're just starting to get more and more self-sufficient with our food. We was going to get some like rescue chickens and then the whole bird flu. The bird flu in the UK has been just madness. People have had to house all their birds. So we looked about getting some chickens and then we sort of ummed and ahed about it. We just thought, well, I'll just get a few ducks. They lay plenty of eggs. They're just a bit more comical than chickens, aren't they? They're just quite funny little creatures. Anyway, so there's us thinking it'd be pretty easy. I will just go out and get some. Well, because of bird flu, it's quite hard to get some at the minute. There's not loads and loads about. Not you can get ducks, but not what you want. We were a bit specific, really. We found this fella that had some. We're sort of like, oh, well, you got to get them now, or they'll be gone. So we got them. We got them now. Obviously, we're not really set up for ducks, but how hard can it be? You know what I mean? Bit of food, bit of water, they'd be alright. We didn't want them too big because we wanted to like handle them a little bit, and we didn't want them on heat either. We wanted them off heat, so we found these guys. Just doing the sheep checks. This is the field we moved them into yesterday, and we've come across a dead one. It's a sheep thing. Now this ewe here, I think what she's died of is a magnesium. We got a big magnesium problem. We don't usually get it this late in the year, but the nights are still pretty cold. She ran through there fine yesterday. I know she did because she's the only ewe that we actually numbered because she went down magnesium before and Zoe managed to bring her back. You can see she's thrashed, and because she's had problems with it before, I'd say that's probably what it was. We get big magnesium problems on this farm. That's why we put the magnesium flakes in the water. But we stopped doing that because it was getting quite late in the year and you don't usually get it this late, but there you go. So I'm gonna put some more mag in the water tanks now, start doing that again. Yes, the combination of the hot day yesterday, cold night last night, fresh grass yesterday was all too much for her. James got a really good lamb on her. It's usually used with twins, but no one's ever told me how much of that to put in. I don't think you can do too much, but I think it makes the water taste better if you do too much. So you guys overseas might find this interesting. In the UK, we can't leave our dead stock lying around. We can't put it on a fire, we can't bury them, we can't do anything like that. We have to have what's called a knacker man. I don't know if that's a technical term for him, but the knacker man comes, collects it in his lorry, and they go off to like rendering plants and stuff like that. They have to be disposed of properly. So that's what my red bins are here. These are our knacker bins. When something dies, we pop them in here. Just keeps it a bit contained rather than, you know, making a mess. It's done obviously for like biosecurity measure. I get it, but it's another cost, isn't it? Another cost to us. So not only is the animal dead, that lamb won't ever do properly. I then got to pay to get rid of it, which by the way is not cheap. Quick goat update. They didn't get out last night, so that was a win. So the plan with the ducks, we're gonna use the poultry netting that we used on the goats there, and we're gonna give them a little space. I don't know how big, but we're just gonna give them a space. And then we're gonna rotate them down this strip, I don't know, every 4 or 5 days, week, I don't know. And hopefully they're just gonna graze all of this. They're gonna find bugs and all sorts of stuff, gonna run around being ducks, eat all the stuff out of the nettles and that sort of stuff. We're just gonna give them like a portable pond, because they don't need a huge area to swim in. They don't need like a big pond. They just need somewhere to dunk their heads and like clean out their sinuses. And obviously they like to float, so we'll give them something sensible. Haven't worked that out yet. But just gonna sort of rotate them around the paddock, and then we're gonna have like pasture raised eggs if the fox don't get them. There's a very, very strong possibility that the fox is going to eat them well before they even think about laying, because they're only babies and probably won't even lay this year. So we're going to have to up our fox security a little bit as well. But that fox has earned a blooming good living off me this year, so I think you can just go away, leave us alone for a bit. Amount of lambs he had. That's the plan with the ducks. It's a very fluid plan at the moment though. Anything could happen. Stay tuned. Duck house. Let me just show you the duck house quickly. The pig out. Although that could be our duck house. It's on skids. Might put it on wheels so we can move it. Now I thought we'd end this video talking about our ewe-hogs. We're grazing this rough bit of field here. One is definitely the wrong side of the fence over there. Terminology confuses people. So these are basically ewe lambs from last year. So they're now just over a year old. We call them hoggets. Where I'm from, we'd call them a hogget. So that's now a ewe hogget. We have about, I think it's 19 or 20 ewe hogs, which I know is pretty small fry in the grand scheme of things, but they're about 300 pence a kilo right now, just in a live market. If I was just to take them to my local market, you'd expect to get around 300 pence a kilo. Well, that's not to be sniffed at, is it? You really gotta think about what you're doing at that point. What are you doing, mate? Every year I try and hold ewe lambs back. I'm sure I've told you. Every year, price goes good and you think, thing is, there's a lot of risk with these. We've got to hold these a whole year now, and there's a cost to that. For 12 months, we've got to hold them, hope they get in lamb, hope they have a lamb, hope they like their lamb, hope they rear their lamb well. I mean, I could just cash them out. It's a lot of money to me. That's a lot of money to me. Food for thought. The more that price goes up, the more I'm thinking about it. That's for sure. Right, just got to get this one back now. Don't knock over his beehives. That won't be funny for either of us. It's got that Scotchy strut, isn't it? Where you going? No. There you go, well done. We ain't gonna put up too much of that, I'll tell you. Nope. Just playing with the ducks again. Duck a weirdo. It's got a bit of enrichment for them. I definitely didn't go like a loser collecting little slugs for them or anything. That would be weird, wouldn't it? I definitely didn't buy them bananas either from the juice section at the shop. That'd also be weird, wouldn't it? Thanks for being here. Couldn't do it without you. Till next time. Still crap at ending these.